Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer because today we are talking about what's probably the absolute greatest gift ever given to humanity. Welcome, everyone. We're looking at a text called Matchless Love and the title Deeds of Glory. And honestly, we are going to unpack some massive concepts here: ultimate love, an ultimate rescue mission, and a totally unbelievable reward. But we're going to keep it super simple and fun. I mean, just imagine this for a second. What if someone walked up to you and handed you the official keys to a literal heavenly mansion? It sounds totally crazy, right? Like something straight out of a fantasy novel or a treasure hunting movie. But here's the wild part. According to what we're looking at today, this is not fiction. This is an actual reality offered to you. So, Section 1, a love like no other. Let's figure out why on earth someone would give us a gift like that. The text keeps using this one specific word over and over: matchless. It talks about Jesus having a matchless love. And if you think about it, that means it literally has no equal. It's the absolute best, greatest love possible. You could search the entire universe, dig through all of human history, and you would never, ever find anything that even comes close to rivaling it. It's completely in a league of its own. And the text just bursts with excitement about this, saying, oh, what love, what matchless love. Fallen human beings may become so closely united with Christ that they are glorified with him. I mean, think about that contrast. Because of this unparalleled love, totally flawed people like us, people who mess up every single day, get this unbelievable opportunity to just team up with him. We don't just get forgiven, we get to literally share in his glory. Which brings us to Section 2. Teaming up with Jesus. Let's look at how this totally rewrites our identity. The phrase used here is becoming one with Christ, which means sharing in his divine nature. Now, if I were explaining this to a 10-year-old, I'd say it's basically like being adopted into the ultimate royal family. Your connection to him becomes so tight and so secure that his ultimate strength, his perfect goodness, and his royal status actually become yours. You're not just some outsider looking in through the window anymore. You are officially part of the family. But, how does that actually happen? Because we are definitely not perfect. Well, there's a 3-step process. First, we're refined by his grace. Second, we're purified from sin. And third, we are glorified with him. And the real secret here? The author says we just need to be passive in his hands. Basically, he does the heavy lifting. He loves us, he helps us, and he is the one carrying us through those steps. And the whole point really clicks in this quote from John 17. Jesus actually prayed, "And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one even as we are one." Let that sink in for a second. Jesus literally prayed for you to have the exact same glory that God the Father gave to him. It is a total, complete sharing of status. Okay, Section 3, the ultimate rescue mission. Because we really have to ask, how did he pull this off when there was a literal death penalty hanging over our heads? It's fascinating to look at the actual timeline of how Jesus paid what the text calls the precious price of redemption. First, during his life, he went through the absolute ringer, tried by the sharp proving of affliction. Then, on the cross, he actually bore the death penalty as our substitute. He paid for it with his own blood. And then finally, on the 3rd day, he rose from the empty tomb. And right at the heart of that timeline is this incredible concept: Jesus became the sinner's substitute and surety. This is the ultimate rescue mission, guys. Stepping in as a substitute means he willingly jumped in front of the punishment that was headed straight for us. He took the hit so we wouldn't have to. He became our surety, our absolute guarantee, by taking that penalty completely on himself. And the absolute proof that this rescue mission was a total success? It's his famous quotes, "I am the resurrection and the life." By rising from the dead, Jesus proved he won. The mission was a complete, undeniable success, unlocking eternal life for anyone who believes. And because of that successful rescue mission, you are offered something seriously mind-blowing. Section 4, your heavenly title deed. The text uses this really cool legal metaphor. It says God's people literally hold the title deeds to real estate in the kingdom of glory. Now think about what a title deed actually is. It's a strict legal document that proves you have the absolute right of ownership to a piece of property. When you have the deed, it's yours. Nobody can take it away. But let's compare an earthly deed to this heavenly one. If you buy a house down here, your deed could get lost, it could be contested, or, it just expires when you pass away.
It's totally temporary. But your heavenly title deed? The text says it was drawn up strictly according to law and is completely eternal, because it was signed in the blood of the Son of God. It is absolutely unbreakable.
And what exactly does that deed give you? Well, Jesus himself promised in John 14, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you." He is actively, personally preparing a custom-built mansion specifically for you. That is the actual real estate you hold the title to.
So, Section 5, following in his footsteps. Since we have this matchless love, and we're holding this totally secure title deed to heaven, what are we supposed to do right now?
Well, we aren't just left with a nice theory, we get a very clear action plan for how to live like actual heavenly property owners. We follow in his footsteps daily. We labor for others, caring for people just like he did. We do works of righteousness, and we let ourselves be conformed to his image. Basically, we act like true members of his royal family, doing what's right and helping the people around us.
And the reward for living that out is just beautiful. John 12 says, "Where I am, there shall also my servant be." It's a promise that when the time comes, if we're doing these works and teaming up with him, we get to literally enter into his joy and sit right down at his table. We have covered some massive, life-changing concepts in this explainer today, so I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. If you literally hold an unbreakable title deed to heaven, completely paid for by his matchless love, how are you going to walk in his footsteps today? Like, how does knowing your eternal future is 100% secure change the way you treat the person next to you right now? Think about that as you go out into the world today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and keep exploring.